Come on, you can do it.
It
There
says
we
we're
go.
live.
It always fails to go live at one of the Facebook locations.
Oh, that's right. You said that
So
last time.
I always have to like click go live again. Wow, there's already 3 people watching. Hello, people that are watching. It's Jill and Mal. We're talking about our Kickstarter update today. Well, our Kickstarter and providing an update.
Yes, either phrase works.
I was giving you an opportunity to talk.
Oh no, I'm mostly just here to, keep it going along. Say hi to people.
Okay.
So I should click comments in case anyone says hi. Say hi if you can see and hear us, so we know you're there.
Yeah, I'm guessing some people will be on YouTube. Those people we can see their names. Facebook people we can't as easily. But
we have a big update today because we crossed over 15,000.
Yep. Wasn't yesterday the 15,000 crossover, or was it today?
We didn't do an update yesterday, so we
didn't do an update.
No.
Yeah. So that means that we hit the stretch goal to get some alternate art for the Intrepid Saga cover, which means that we now have like a ton of different things that we've had stretch goals for. The comic book pages, or the coloring book pages, which I'm actually probably going to get a comic book artist to do. So they're probably going to look more like black and white comic book pages, which I think is kind of awesome.
Make sure they can still color them in, though.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, black and white comic book pages they're called the inks before they get colored, so they're designed to be colored.
See, I hope there'll be a BLT somewhere in there. Because I really want Tannis having a BLT in one hand and then gun in another hand. She's hungry.
It's totally something that has to happen, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, nobody, which is also Chad.
Yes, hello, Chad ×2.
Yeah, and then we've also got 2 character sketches, and then I don't know. We got so many things. I can't even think of all the stretch goals we've hit. But there's been a bunch.
Some new amazing canvas art.
Yes.
So we might have sold 3 of them now, so there might be only 2 left, I think.
Yeah, that's true. I might be able to get more. If they sell out, I might be able to get more. The site had this like incredible deal on these things, whereas normally like canvas prints like this are they're like $80 to $100.
Sorry, I got a kitten. Ugh.
But I got this one for enough that I can sell it for $60. And that's like including what it costs to ship it here, because shipping for something like this is not super cheap. And they look really good.
Yeah, they look really nice in person.
I wasn't sure like how good they'd look, because you never know. It's a new company I've never worked with before, and they look great. Like I kind of I put up on the wall back there, but then Joe got sad that I took down some of her beach decorations to do it.
I was mostly surprised, my poor beach decorations were just on the sofa.
That's awesome, Tim. I'm actually not following the rocket launches that are going on these days as much as I should be.
Lisa's actually there. She got invited to the launch from NASA.
Oh, right, she did. That's right.
So I don't know if she's gonna be able to like stay or have to go back.
Well, it's not the launch yet. It's a test fire.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, it's really cool that she got to do that with her dad being involved and all that stuff.
So if we could get more canvas art, like say like of the star systems or star maps or other things, people would be interested in that, and also tell us what you would be interested in.
Yeah, so one person did say already, they messaged me directly on
Kickstarter
saying that they would love to get the Intrepid at Mars art on a canvas print. So I'm going to see if I can get a couple of those done as well for a reasonable price.
Yeah.
And let me bring that up so anybody who doesn't know exactly what I'm talking about will know. So many folders of Aeon 14 things. Ta-ta. Destiny Rising, Mars Revised. All right, here we go. There.
Ooh.
So that's the art that
Destiny Rising. Cool.
That's right. From Destiny. You knew that was from Destiny Rising. I'm impressed.
What? That's clearly the cover for Destiny Rising.
I have a lot of books. I didn't, expect everybody to know.
I bet I could pull out almost anything if you You gave me a quiz. Maybe don't give me a quiz right now. I find like that's very distinctive art. So
yeah, totally right, Chad. But yeah, this is some of my favorite art that's ever been done for Aeon 14. This is an artist that I found on DeviantArt actually, and he did all sorts of wild space scenes and whatnot. And so he was the first person to ever really conceptualize for Aeon 14 what a ring would look like around a planet. So in this one here, we have Mars in the middle. The inner ring is Mars 1, which is a habitation ring. And then the outer ring is the Mars Central Elevator Exchange, which a lot of space stations and things like that are docked or built onto. And one of the coolest things about this art is I actually use some software to work out exactly what Mars would look like topographically at the ocean levels that it has in the books, and then had that mapped onto a globe. So that image of Mars that you see there is what Mars would look like if it had water on it. It's like,
so it's accurate. You're saying it's an accurate
image of Mars. Yeah.
I just remember how much the art cost.
It was not cheap art. No.
So I think it was burned in my memory that was for Destiny Rising.
And right in the middle of Mars, you can see the.
It's worth it, right? Look at that. It's worth it.
Yeah, totally. Right in the middle of Mars, you can see the Mariner Valley, which is the second largest canyon in the solar system. Largest on any planet, second largest in the solar system. And it's on the shores of that Tannis grew up.
Aw, nice.
Yeah.
Home sweet home.
Full of dolphins that she hangs out with.
This would have to be like I feel like a massive canvas print though to like do it any like real justice.
Oh, did you sign for that, Nadine? That's awesome. I'm really looking forward to giving that. I gave that presentation at Superstars last year, and it was
5 hours. Was it really that long?
No, it wasn't 5 hours. It was a 3-hour presentation.
Oh, okay. Because Kickstarter says 5 hours.
The course I'm going to be giving is 5 hours for
yeah,
this.
Yeah. I just was wondering if you had ever done that live. Like, well, it's a long time.
No, I've never done the whole thing. I've never done the 5-hour version because I had to pare it down to fit in 3 hours.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So this is the version that I would have done if I had like unlimited time. But yeah, it's going to be a great class talking about how to build all these things, how to do the research, how to do what's called like hard or soft world building when you build a world, all that jazz.
Well, see, you have lots of ideas for writing the description out.
Maybe. Hey, Kyle.
Hi, Kyle.
But yeah, we
if
we did this, we might want. Maybe I would do some sort of like really make some sort of really massive canvas available. The canvases get really expensive really fast though, because like this thing being being a 12 by 30, if you get something that's 24 by 48, it's like almost 4 times the size of this. So they charge you almost 4 times the price. So it can get up into the hundreds, unfortunately, rather quickly. But
did you check on like Shutterfly maybe, because they do canvas prints for like your photos?
I looked at a bunch of different sites actually, yeah, and they were all more expensive than the place I got this from.
Look, it's the space weather girl. I love the space weather. I got this little jingle in my head for when the space weather starts.
That's awesome. Craig, that's great. Thanks for finding us. I love that I was able to put the Rika series up on YouTube like that. That was actually funded by the last Kickstarter we did was for the Rika Kickstarter, and one of the backers actually paid $1,000 so that the audiobooks you made for Rika could be provided to more people who couldn't perhaps afford them. And actually the Kickstarter did so well, and then the sales on Audible did so well. That's actually what prompted me to just put them on YouTube and just be like, hey, everybody can have them for free now. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah. I love going to YouTube and reading the comments and stuff from everyone that's listening.
Yeah. People really like
it's a lot of fun.
Really like that it's there. So yeah, I'll see if I can come up with a good option for this, and maybe I'll order a couple of prints. Chad actually ordered a really cool thing. And I'm actually ordering 2, one for him and maybe one for someone else. It's this image, but it's split into 3 vertical things. So it's like one of those things where like it's 3 vertical canvases that they're like one image with a break in between them all. It looks really cool. So that's awesome.
You know what add-on I don't think we've added is when if people wanted to get their own custom book cover.
Oh yeah.
We talked about that in the last chat. just like this one, and then nothing happened when we got
What
off.
was our plan? What did we talk about? Like to get themselves on it, or like they could decide what art they wanted?
I think some people were gonna like put themselves on it, or I don't know. But yes, put their faces on it or something.
Put your face on like
Get a head
one of the
swap
necks in the
or
background or
something.
something like that.
Yeah.
And most of the characters are women, so some people might need full body swaps to
Full
be on the
body,
cover
put
of the
their
book.
pet on it.
That's actually a really cool idea.
Their pet could just be like having a space sort of bubble around its head, and
The question is like, what it would? Yeah, it would have to be like. Yeah, I guess on the Outsystem cover we could totally do that because it's just a space scene with a person in front. So yeah, we totally
yes,
could do that. I need
it'd
to
probably have to be like what, a $600 tier to cover new art and a new print.
might have to be
Just
more
yeah,
because the time it takes to do that. To get because the artists charge hourly. So if the image that we start with is that good, it could be a lot more.
it's like a one-time print though. Like their copy would be the only one that exists.
Yeah, yeah. I think we probably have to charge $800 for that.
Yeah, that would be like a great birthday or anniversary, just sort of keepsake. I think
That would be pretty cool.
it
I'll
would be pretty
definitely
cool.
mention that. I mean, unfortunately, it is crazy expensive to do that. Maybe I could do it for $6. I'd have to look
Oh,
into
we
it.
could do say 800 and just do like 3 of them and see how it goes this time.
Yeah,
So make it a limited thing, so you're not bogged down with doing new art.
yeah. Because not only does the artist have to do it, then I have to actually like make the book. With that cover on
Right,
it,
and
get it shipped,
yeah, then it'll be
get
like
Amazon
have
to
its own
approve it.
ISBN and everything.
Yeah, it's a whole thing.
It would be a whole thing.
It would be cool to having its own ISBN. It'd be like listed as an actual official titling catalogs and stuff like that.
Right, it could be like Chad's copy.
I was just gonna say the Chad Burroughs edition.
Chad Burroughs, and have like a his space like system image in the book, even though nothing happens there.
The Burroughs system.
The Burroughs system. I don't know if
Burroughs
Chad's
system.
still listening, but
Oh, he's here. He's lurking. I know he is.
there he is.
Yeah.
We just
But
like
yeah,
to
also
find ways to get Chad to show up.
I am gonna do some maps too. I'm working on prettying up some maps.
Yeah.
Some of these may not get done until after the Kickstarter, so they might be in the survey that people can get it added on. But I'm going to try to get into the Kickstarter as well. But I just feel like there needs to be something fancier for the maps if I'm going to make a canvas print out of them. But I'll figure it out.
I think also it doesn't need to be fancier. I think some people just like the art that's in the book.
I guess.
I feel like that would be just a great print to put like above your bed or something, or over your headboard.
Yeah. Sorry, someone was actually messaging me in Discord something about that they really like this image. Let's see. Sunshine has a question in Discord.
I think Mal could read the weather.
Can Mal read the weather? Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot of weather to read.
I think she's still writing the new one.
Oh yeah, it's yesterday's weather. I guess I could read the weather. Sure, I'll read the weather if you get it done before we're done.
Oh, she said the Sunday one is not that long.
Oh, sure. I'll read the weather. Hey, Peter. Yeah, by the way, I am going to DragonCon this coming week, which is Wednesday. I'll be there Wednesday through till Monday. I fly out at 6:00 on Monday, so I'll be around in the morning. Although I have a session at 11 on Monday morning. So
what time Monday you fly out? 6 p.m.?
6 p.m., yeah.
Okay. You're going to miss Labor Day then. I'm going to be roasting hot dogs by myself.
I guess you are, yeah.
Okay.
Let me stop the screen share. I'll embigger us again. All right. So I'm going to read Sunday space weather. What day was Sunday? Today's the day. No, yesterday is Sunday.
Need a space jingle. I want to get someone to make that space jingle.
Space weather theme. You do it, honey. Do the space weather theme.
Space weather.
Hello, lovely sapiens and other beings, visitors from afar and Pony Express. It's a new Sunday here in the Sol system, and things are afoot. Solar wind is increasing again. We might even see a minor G1 geomagnetic storm, which could become a G2 storm tomorrow. Current wind speed is 400.6 kilometers per second, with a density of 8 ppcc. Flare activity has gone up again, and the strongest flare today so far has been at M6.7. at 1619 Universal Time. Radio flux is up to 128 SFU, which is no wonder with the increased flare activity. And Olu, I've never say that word out loud before. Olu reports another slight increase by 0.5% in the last 48 hours. Sliding window, which gives us a new value of 1.5% above average. That's for the neutrino. Neutrino count? It's a neutrino count, right? The interplanetary magnetic field remains weak for now, with a total strength of 6.24 NT and a north-south component BZ of 4.65 NT north. The planetary K index for Terra has peaked at 3, is now a bit lower at 2. Wind flowing from the marked coronal hole is expected to arrive. Imagine there's a coronal hole being marked here on the sun right beside me. Is expected to arrive at Terra orbital any minute now. With the arrival, wind speeds are expected to reach 780 kilometers per second with a density of around 10 ppcc. That's really freaking fast. Wind will then be slowing down over the next 2 days to 550 kilometers per second, again with densities falling below 2.5 ppcc. Flare AR 3088 remains the most active region at this time with its beta gamma magnetic field. The already mentioned M6 flare has very likely caused a significant CME, however, it will not hit Terra. AR 3089 is developing beta delta magnetic flow now, raising the chance for Terra-directed flows and potential CMEs significantly. Probabilities are high with 99% chance for Class C, 55 for Class M, and 25 for X-class flares with AR 3089's delta magnetic field. All right, I'm not going to read the second part because it actually takes a lot longer to read than you'd think.
That was great, but I guess she's writing the one she wants you to read still.
Oh, I thought it was Sundays I was supposed to read.
I thought so too.
Well, I'll read today's then as well.
No, we could just talk for a few minutes.
Yeah, Greg, did you not realize that they're my books that you're reading?
Yeah, there are Mal's books. My books, not my books.
It's understandable you might not have made that connection, but yeah, I wrote the books. Not all of them. If you read the list of ones, I wrote those with James. Obviously, his name's on them too. But the Rika ones are. Rika was my brainchild. Just like she sprang fully formed from my mind at 11 o'clock one night, and I wrote the first 5,000 words of Rika Outcast in like a fever pitch, and did it in like an hour and a half, which is pretty awesome.
Hi, hey, Bruce.
No worries, Craig. I can get that. But yeah, it's Rika's still one of my favorite characters. I think she's a lot of people's favorite characters. I think the reason why too is like so many of the Aeon 14 characters are like top of their class kind of characters. Like, you know, when I was writing Outsystem, which is the book that this Kickstarter is for, and for those of you who haven't seen it, by the way, let me share it because I just realized some people probably haven't seen it. So if you go to Kickstarter.com and just search for Outsystem, all one word, you'll find it. Share screen. So this is the Kickstarter we're doing. It's for a 10th anniversary edition of this book, and there's some pretty cool things you can get. All the 10th anniversary stuff going along with the book is only available via the Kickstarter. Some of the other add-ons, like certain posters and whatnot, will be available possibly at other times. But everything that's like 10th anniversary editions is only ever going to be available through this Kickstarter. But the book Outsystem, when Tanis, who's the character on the cover there, when she left the Sol system on a colony ship, right? Like it's a colony ship of 2 million people out of a star system with 3 trillion humans living in it. So obviously, only the creme de la creme are getting on this ship. So I had to write about all these hyper competent people and whatnot who are top of their game, and then figure out ways to, mess them up. But Rika is different because Rika is young and damaged and unsure of herself and has to build herself up from nothing. So we get to see a character in Rika that we don't normally get to see in Aeon 14. Actually, some of Jill's characters, like Kylie Rhodes, are a lot like that as well. Kylie is definitely damaged goods when we first meet her.
I get grief for that too in the first book. It's like, hold on, there's character growth and development going on here, people. Just gotta hang in there.
Hey, Ken.
Hi, Ken.
No, you're right, Craig. I was just thinking that as when you said that, I'm like, shoot, like I don't think it says MD Cooper probably on the YouTube videos that you've been looking at. So
I think it says
yeah.
Aeon 14 fans or just Aeon 14.
Well, Craig was probably watching on the Aeon 14 YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's what I was just looking at. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't think it says fans or anything. It just says Aeon 14,
Maybe
and
it
then of
doesn't. Maybe
course,
it just
and
says
then the
Aeon 14. Yeah.
yeah,
Doesn't
and
say like official MD Cooper channel or anything.
I'm also broadcasting there, but
Yeah, that's probably how he found this video.
yeah. So no harm, no foul. I should probably touch
You
that.
probably should add it like official channel of MD Cooper,
Now
maybe.
that I think about that, or like buy MD Cooper or have my name in there somewhere. Although to be
Nice
honest, with AM14,
Rose.
the AM14 name is really what I'm building everything around anyway, because there are a lot of authors who write in AM14. Hey, Cytheros.
It'd be nice though if people know they're not just watching like listening to like a bootleg copy of Rika or whatever, that it's like official.
I think it says official.
No, I don't think it did.
In the description. It does.
Are you sure?
Yep. Yeah, it says like all of them have a description. All the audio on there has a description saying something like not our video, but the audio book.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So like it's official version released by the author. Yada yada yada.
Oh, okay.
I did some marketing.
Yeah, nothing that appears though on that like title page on YouTube though.
Okay, Craig, that's good. It has my name on the cover. I was like, I sure hope I put.
Yeah, the names are on your cover. Yes.
I'm like, thank goodness. That would have been really embarrassing if I didn't do that.
It is the official cover art, so yes.
Yeah, but I did it differently. Like I put the title on the left and everything like that. So I did. It was entirely possible that I might have forgotten to put my name on it. So yeah, I'm really stoked about all the stuff we're going to do. I'm especially stoked about the other art option for the Intrepid Saga Omnibus.
Do we know what that art's going to look like?
I do.
Is it still a secret?
Because I had I'm going to show it. Well, I'm going to show the comp. Here we are.
We love the audio narrator too, Craig.
Yeah, she's great.
For Rika.
She's got mad skills.
Mm-hmm.
All right, share. I did actually share this last time, I think, but I'm going to share it again because I love it so much.
I probably just forgot what it looks like.
All right, so the Intrepid. So these are like rough mocks. So the Intrepid Saga art that we went with was the one on the right because all things considered, spaceship ass always wins. But I also really like the one on the left. I actually like them all, but the one on the left, I actually saw some art that's a lot like that, and I wanted it was like some big Mac guns firing in space and whatnot, and I wanted to have a cover like that because in the Battle for Victoria, there are massive Mac guns firing into space, and so Phil did that comp, and it was sort of coin toss between it and the one on the right. So now that we've crossed over 15K, we're going to have both. And when you get your copy of the book, you can actually pick which one you're going to want or which one you're going to get. Of course, the books don't actually. I changed the font and everything and whatnot. So this isn't none of this is exactly what the covers look like, but you can see the covers on the Kickstarter page. Pew, there we go.
Do you want to maybe throw the link, Mel, in comments or something for the
Kickstarter? I could totally do that.
People should click on it if they haven't been there yet.
Dun, dun, dun.
Hi, Laura. Thank you.
But it won't post to Facebook, but it will post to YouTube.
Okay.
There we are.
Oh yeah, look, I saw a comment on YouTube come in with the link.
Ta-da!
Ta-da!
Yeah, so
it says project build at the end, though. I don't know if that worked.
It's fine. It's just a reference from where people clicked. So yeah, I guess that's kind of the update right now. Oh, I guess the other thing is I have finished writing all of the add-on copy, the additional extended edition copy. Not copy, stories. I don't want to call it copy. It's not ad copy. It's book.
No, it's not. It's a book.
I write so much ad copy for people these days.
Mark.
But
it must be like 30,000 new words or more.
It's a little bit more than that. A little more than 30,000 words. So it's like
almost the length of a new book.
Yeah, it's like the length of a Perseus Gate book being added into it, on top of the already 150 pages that are added into the extended edition of Outsystem and Path in the Darkness. So it's a pretty chunky story. It's like
And
at least two George R.R. Martin books worth of story.
what are you trying to say?
He writes really long books. His
Right.
fourth book in his series is longer than the entire Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Jill's just like, that's just too damn long. That's what you're thinking.
Right. Yeah. And I guess next when you get back from DragonCon is going to be start reading Perilous Vacation, or active title, current work in progress title.
Yeah,
Right.
Perilous Vacation is Jill's next book following Kylie Rhodes and the crew of the Barbaric Queen, Mr. Fizzlepop and everything.
Really, it's just a story following Mr. Fizzlepop. I mean, let's be real. Oh!
It takes place before the Ascension War stuff, though, so it takes place shortly after the end of the Orion War. So in that 10-year period between those two wars, when
there's a 10-year period I get to play with that doesn't affect the next giant series. So
you kind of have carte blanche to do what you want there. Well, not entirely, but yeah, Tanis is going to be in it. Joe's going to be in it. What? I'm not giving any details. I'm just saying these characters exist in the book.
Yeah.
It's marketing, honey.
I know. There's sort of a shroud of Tanis that hangs over the whole book. Whether we see her or not in this one is up for, we'll see.
I know, right? Because it's just like, don't screw up or Tanis is going to come for you.
Yeah, she's going to come. We are terrified of Tanis.
She's like the principal. You don't want to get called to Tanis's office.
Except for Mr. Fizzlepop. Mr. Fizzlepop is not scared of Tanis.
Yeah. But we have to write Mr. Fizzlepop meeting Tanis because that would
just yeah. I don't want to give too much away, but in this book there's this whole sort of thing about their last meeting and how badly it went. And Tanis's her eyelid might twitch at the name Mr. Fizzlepop. Book 2, though, I think we're definitely going to see some Tanis and Mr. Fizzlepop, Tanis versus Mr. Fizzlepop sort of situation.
I can totally imagine that what could have happened, because I don't know, I haven't read it. I don't know what Jill has in mind, but it totally could be something like where Tanis had like this spread of BLTs, or something like that, and then Mr. Fizzlepop ate them all. Like that could totally be
along those lines, some like that, but yeah.
All right.
Not exactly.
And hey, Mark, I don't know if I said hi to you yet or not. I think Jill did.
I did.
Mark, you live in Atlanta, right? Don't you? Because I'm going to be in Atlanta in 2 days.
Eva is too.
Yep. Yeah, Eva, my daughter's going to be there too. Well, your daughter too, honey.
I know. I just said Eva too. I didn't call her anyone's daughter. I said
my daughter, and I should have said our daughter. I was correcting myself.
It's okay. You don't want people thinking that you think they're talking. I don't know. Never mind.
Oh yeah, Mark, you're absolutely right. Jessica is. I'm Jessica, without a doubt. I used to think I was Tanis, but no, I'm not. I'm Jessica.
You're all of them. You're a little bit Sarah, a little bit Tanis, and a lot Jessica. What about Ken's idea, though, of an ascended Mr. Fizzlepop?
I mean, like one of the things what I think is like I used to like Sarah and Tanis are kind of very much who I am, and Jessica is really just a combination of Sarah and Tanis. Tanis's badassery with Sarah's fashion sense. So. But
ascended Mr. Fizzlepop, who can throw up shields like Tangle.
That'd be insane. The ascended cat. Oh my god! If there was ever a cat that was going to ascend, though, it is not Mr. Fizzlepop.
Oh, I think he would disagree.
Oh,
but
man.
I don't think he'd want to ascend. I think he'd rather just stay eat pizza, and get a tummy rub once in a while.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, people know this is streaming in 4 different places, so there's actually a lot more chat going on than you might be seeing.
No, I'm just in StreamYard, so
I don't think would be able to make it to the pub, Mark. If we wanted to meet, you'd have to come to DragonCon or somewhere thereabouts, because I've got lots of panels I have to be on and stuff like that. So
plus dragging the daughter around.
Dragging the con around, yeah. So
the daughter, not the con.
Oh. I was a DragonCon, Dragon the Con.
Oh, that's funny. I made a pun. I didn't know it. So.
I don't know that I can read a second weather though. Even though that's
is it like a funny part that she wants read or something?
I don't know.
Can you do the highlights like we're like the bit before the commercial?
No. All right, today. Oh, it is pretty short.
Whoosh. Space weather. Ugh.
Hello, lovely sapiens, other beings, visitors from far afar, and Kickstarter backers. It's a lovely Monday, and weather is surprisingly weird today. Wind speed has picked up and is now at 504.4 kilometers per second, with a density of 11 protons per cubic meter. For anyone who was wondering what PPC was um, in the last space weather, it's kind of like I have to pause because you're like, okay, wind of 504 kilometers per second is pretty freaking fast, right? Like the wind's like at Venus and then passes Earth like not that long afterward. Um, but then you think 11 protons per cubic centimeter. It's actually not that many protons in there, but it's more than you might. Yeah, it's a lot of energy. Anyway, flare activity on Sol's near side is high with almost X class flare at M8.7 at today at 11 so many numbers at 11:07 universal time, the latest M being M3 at 1940 universal time. Radio flux is surprisingly high at 252 SFU. People find shelter. That's high radiation out there. Goodness, is it? Olu reports the neutron count is still increasing, zero point 0.3 over the last 48 hours, giving a new value of 1.6 above average. The interplanetary magnetic field has also increased due to increased radiation from Sol, and its total strength measures 11.15 nanoteslas today, with a north-south component of 7.61 nanoteslas. The planetary K index for Terra has increased to 4 around lunchtime and is now back to quieter levels of 2.
See, you're practically a weather girl now.
I know, right?
Well, you ended that really well. What I'd love to see in the space weather is like a suggested outfit for today's weather. Like, should I leave my umbrella at home because the winds are like 500 miles an hour? Do I need like a radiation suit to combat what's going on in the atmosphere? And all the other tech stuff that just sort of like went over my head. I'm not really sure.
Well, honey, there's the magnetic field, there's radiation, there's the wind.
Bring metal with me because I'll be magnetic.
The interplanetary magnetic field is not that strong. Okay. Don't worry about it. It's not going to go sucking you around.
Okay, I think not.
The K index is always one of the things that's kind of neat because the K index is like, correct me if I'm wrong, but like if it's 4 and above, you're going to see northern lights if you live in certain places, is what it kind of means. If it happens at night, I mean, apparently the K index was 4 at noon today, which means probably not going to see the northern lights.
We're really going to get that character though in a book, Sunshine in a book as like the weather, sentient weather across the link or something. That would be fun.
I feel like we should add it into the new Perilous Vacation story.
Maybe.
Could we do that?
Sure. And then by book 2, we could have her kidnapped and then they're trying to rescue her. So that's how I work. Like, yeah, it's done.
That's what's going to happen. You involve Jill in this. That's how it's going to go.
Right. Yeah. And now the character is showing up in like some Fennington murder mystery story that Marge and Alice are reading.
Yeah, actually, I didn't read the entire thing because NASA All Skies has seen a bunch of new fireballs diving towards their death, 27 sporadics in all. That's all for today. Stay vigilant and tune in again. More herbs, less salt.
Space weather.
Okay, we're having way too much fun doing this.
Well, that's what this is all about, though. It's about having fun and connecting with the fandom, and they wanted you to read the weather, and you did.
I did. There are a lot of random rocks out there, Chad. You're right. You know what kind of surprises me? Like, there are some days, because I know this because Sunshine does the space weather every day, where like as many as like 100 rocks hit Earth in one day. Or burn up in our atmosphere, one of the two. And I'm just like,
the helmet.
Like, our solar system is not young, right? Like, there's been time for all the big stuff to scoop up all the little stuff, and there's still a lot of little stuff out there. Like, it's nuts, right? Like, it's 4.5 billion years in, and there's just like junk everywhere still. Like, this place is never going to be clean. It's nuts.
My big question is there space kibble? What do the uplifted cats and dogs eat? Do they just steal pizza and fish? Or is there like a bagged food that humans are trying to feed them and they won't eat it?
The uplifted animals? I mean,
Well, mostly Mr. Frizzlepop. I don't really care about the other animals.
I mean,
I just assumed he eats human, like table food all the
I mean,
time.
you write him eating table
Yeah,
food, so
I do.
that's what he eats.
He's usually stealing it though.
I do feel like if you're an uplifted animal, you're probably just not going to eat crunchies. Just throwing
Yeah,
that out
probably
there. You're
not.
probably like, hell no. I'm
Uplifted
not eating
pizza. Yeah.
crunchy off the floor. Uplifted pizza, ascended pizza. Uh, do we have anything else to talk about other than like, yay Kickstarter,
Yay
canvas prints?
Kickstarter.
I'll be getting more canvas prints available on the Kickstarter because they're cool. I like the fact too that they're the ones that are like wrapped around the edge, you know. So when you hang them up, they're gonna be like all cool. I am going to do some tall ones. Chad's already spoken for one set, but I'll put up what they look like when they come, and we'll do one for the Intrepid at Mars, and I'll do a map. What I'll probably do is I'll do the map of the Sol system when the Intrepid is leaving the Sol system, and I might make a map of the Captain star system. I've never done that actually, so I could do that and give you a map of that.
And Sunshine, in Perilous Vacation, there is an uplifted squirrel, but whether he's insane or not is really will be open to interpretation. And how well can you really uplift something with a tiny head?
I mean, Crash the parrot, but great parrots are also really smart. So
yeah, spoiler: the squirrel wears a helmet because his brain is just a little too small.
I love how some of us have gone. Like, I'm not too bad with the uplifted animals, but some people, mainly Jill and Lisa, have just basically gone hog wild with uplifted animals.
I wanted to make sure I wasn't going too far, so I polled the group, and they told me that you could never have too many uplifted animals in one book.
I mean, that's basically it, right? I mean, like, Lisa literally introduced the sloth from Zootopia in one of her books. So
there's a shark, a couple dolphins, an octopus, parrots.
Uplifted a shark? You're not allowed to uplift sharks.
2 cats and a squirrel. I think that might be it. I feel like that's probably enough. Maybe.
I need to do something funny with the uplifted dolphin that's with the characters in the Ascension War. It doesn't really do that much. It just kind of chills. It's just like a good engineer that happens to be a dolphin. Oh, and of course there's the octopuses too. There's Jenny's octopuses. Those are some of my favorite creatures because like they're always like
to meet Earl. Yeah.
How many ascended animals did you put in this book? I haven't read it yet.
The octopus already.
I know, but just when I think of them all together, I'm like, damn, that's a lot of ascended.
Well, they're not all together. They're different parts of the book. They're not like all powwowing.
I realize that. I mean, like all.
There's Pearl, the octopus, and Arnold the shark. Yeah.
You know, you're not wrong, Bruce, about it worked for Disney.
Right? It works for lots of authors. Cozy Mysteries is really just an excuse to have talking cats.
I think I've read Startide, Ken. That rings a bell. Also, Anne McCaffrey had the Dolphins of Pern too, you know, so not Bruce the shark.
I thought of it, but I thought that would be a little too on the nose.
I mean, the thing is, like, there probably are worlds out there where the uplifted animals did revolt.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't there an uplifted world where like everybody's like, it's the one where they're trying to get. It's a dolphin world. It's an entire world of dolphins, and they're trying to like not let Cheeky know about it because she'll get herself turned into a dolphin, so she can have dolphin sex all the time. I think that's what it was. It was something like that. So, and there is the Disney world, you know, where
I'm pretty sure you made up the all dolphin world, so it does exist somewhere.
But yeah, it's mentioned in one of the books.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, there's like, that's the great thing about Aeon 14. Like, humanity has spread to occupy something like 7% of the galaxy. I mean, not like all the stars in that volume, but they've spread out across 7% of the galaxy, which is something to the tune of like, what would that be? 20 billion stars? 20 to 30 billion stars? So, I mean, you know, 20 to 30 billion stars, even if like 1 or 2% of them have human colonies in orbit around them, that's millions of star systems with humans. And honestly, like, any scenario you can imagine has happened. Like, it's all happened, which is the best thing about AM14. I deliberately built, a universe that was so big that like I could tell any story in it. I've read Uplift, yeah, absolutely. MD Beards back in the day. What made me decide to write sci-fi? It's interesting because when I first started writing, I wrote fantasy. Like all my first novels were all fantasy that I wrote. And it was when I watched the movie Serenity. We actually got to see two sneak previews of Serenity before it came out in the theaters. And it was after the second sneak peek of Serenity, I'm just like, I need to write a story like this. So I switched gears entirely and started writing that. But since I'm a science nut, I wrote it hard science fiction instead of Joss Whedon's not hard science fiction. And I actually spent 2 years working out all the rules of Aeon 14, learning about how all sorts of things would work, understanding the science of it all, so I could write like scientifically accurate stuff. And it's like the earlier stuff, like Outsystem and the Sentience Wars books, are much harder per se because there's no faster than light travel and stuff like that. And then as things go further out, I'm just having to extrapolate. I'm like, okay, if you could do this and this and this, what would that then give you? And then come up with like how the world would work. And it's a lot of fun. How hard was the world building? It was crazy hard. Like I said, I spent 2 years before I wrote anything, basically. Like I wrote a little bit and then spent 2 years doing world building. I learned a lot more about like thrust and momentum and orbital mechanics and all sorts of stuff than I should know. And I actually worked out all the way down to I got all sorts of star data from NASA, and I got plotting software that plotted out all the stars in like a 3D map, so I could pivot it around and look at all the nearby stars. Because if you look at the stars one way, you think two stars are close together, but you turn it and you realize that they're like really far apart. Because it's not a 2D map, it's a 3D map, and you actually have to pivot it to really understand it. And I actually worked out the routes the colony ships would have gone based on where the best star systems for habitable life were and stuff like that. And like I learned a lot of interesting things that caused me also to realize that most science fiction, not most, a lot of science fiction is flawed. For example, they constantly have colonies around red dwarfs, but red dwarfs emit X-ray flares that are 10,000 times more powerful than the X-ray flares that Sol emits. And if said X-ray flare was aimed at your planet, it would sterilize it. And because red dwarfs are so small and not that hot, they don't emit that much energy. You have to get your planet pretty close to the red dwarf. So when that 10,000 times X-ray flare hit your planet, it would be a lot of energy. So there's things like that I learned, like, oh wow, you actually wouldn't want to live here because this place would kill you. And there's always things like in Star Trek, they talk about things like people living around Rigel and Deneb and stuff like that. Rigel and Deneb are places you don't want to live. Basically, any big star that you can see in the sky, that's not like any big blue star that you can see in the sky, chances are that it's like a violent, terrible place that you don't want to live. So I learned about stuff like that, like how you couldn't have those things, and that like changed the science of a lot of stuff too. Because then I created the cultural groups like around Sirius, where around the white dwarf the elites lived, and then the people who basically mined crap around Sirius A lived, in were a different level in the caste system, because there's so much radiation out there that no one was going to live that long. So they basically used indentured servitude, and stuff like that. So I learned all sorts of things, and that then built the stories,
And that's how we came up with the 5-hour class for the How to Build a Universe course for anyone that is an author or wants to be one.
Yeah. It's actually, that's
a Kickstarter tier.
Yeah, it's like one of the very last Kickstarter tiers. You can also get it as an add-on if you back something else. And it's a class that I'm recreating it, because I did it, like the previous version was a 3 hour, so I'm recreating as a 5-hour version with everything I want. Plus you actually get consulting time with me to talk about your universe, and we'll talk about how it can work. Yeah, it comes with an hour of consulting with me, so you can actually, I don't
think it says that on the tier.
It does say that.
Does it?
It did the first time I wrote it.
Oh, okay, I'll go. I copied and pasted it into something today. I didn't think I saw anything like that, but
I'll double check. But yeah, because I figured like once people have like made they take the class and they build a universe, we might want to talk about it to see if like I can give them any advice or poke any holes that might be problems and stuff like that. But one of my big things when it comes to making universes is that you have to make your maps first. That if you're going to build something big and robust, you have to make maps first. And I get into all that. And actually, when I did that, I'm really looking forward to doing this again, because I did this thing live. I actually like drew maps on a whiteboard and then created a story based on these maps right in front of everybody. And everybody was like, a lot of people are like, oh my God, this is like amazing. Like some of them were like, crap, I need to go redo my maps. No?
Nadine just said she sees it, but I mean, I'm just reading too fast.
You're just reading too fast, honey. Nadine sees it.
Still don't see it. Oh well. I guess you can
read it. Are you looking in the tier list on the right, or?
Yeah, I'm on the pledges, and then the how to build a universe masterclass.
You have to look at the big list on the main screen.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe we should add it to that side list.
Probably should, I guess. Yeah.
Because I usually don't read the main screen. I read the pledge section.
The side list thing, you're restricted by how many characters you can put in the boxes. So the main thing actually has more.
To edit my post from today because I did not mention the one-on-one.
Yeah, honey, there's a one-on-one. There's 4 videos. Training on the foundational elements of building a massive universe. Instruction.
Oh my God, where is this? I did not see that either.
Just keep scrolling.
Keep scrolling.
It's about 4/5 of the way down the page. Formulas, ideas, and tools for creating your new stories. Detailed walkthroughs on how I built AM14. And I'm also going to talk about like the things I did that worked and the things I did that didn't work and what I did to fix them. Because I think it's actually really important too.
Yeah, it is. I still don't see it, so I will have to look at it. Oh, I think I found it. It's not a graphic.
No, it's not. It's not a graphic.
It's a lot of text.
Well, yeah, because it didn't fit in a graphic. It's a lot of text.
Oh, okay. No wonder I was like, well, you didn't really write that much about it. I'm not sure what I was supposed to do.
Yeah, I was like, Jill was like, do you have any more information about this thing? I'm like, yeah, I wrote up a whole bunch about it. And she's like, this is kind of light. I'm like, wait, what are you talking? We were looking at 2 different things, as it turns out. So
yeah. Yeah, when I'm pledging, I never read the full screen. I just go right over to the right all the time.
Oh, well, gee.
Now I know.
The Mal and Jill show has gone on for quite some time tonight. This has been fun.
Off the rails.
Yeah, totally.
It's fine.
But you're right, Chad. Life would not be boring if you lived around a blue giant. Absolutely not. Or, well, there's blue giants, and then there's B and A class blue stars as well. So blue giants are end of life kind of stars, but like Sirius A is just I think it's an A class, or is it a B class star? Anyway, it's just really violent, and it's only going to live for like 400 million years before it dies, and it will become a blue giant, but it's kind of wild though, because like creatures lived on Earth when the Sirius stars actually came into being, and Sirius B, supernovaed or novaed, not supernovaed, it just novaed, like while land creatures lived on Earth, and it probably sucked when that happened, because it probably bathed the Earth in radiation. It's just like, yay. And that wouldn't have been that long ago either. Like maybe a couple million, maybe like 20-30 million years ago, I think. I'd have to double check, but it's astronomically speaking, it's like yesterday that Sirius B novaed. And then, of course, because it's a binary star system, Sirius A would have captured all of the mass and created this massive ring system around the star. And hence minors. Anyway, I could go on like this forever. Sometimes it's interesting, sometimes it's not. You never know, Chad. You never know. Although humans have only been around for 1 million years, and Homo sapiens for only 100,000. So. Oh my God, yes. Yeah, we did that. It was in Tanis Richards' shore leave when she's on Vesta, which is one of the largest asteroids in the asteroid belt, and it has a ring around it / built partially tunneling through it that like rotates and creates gravity. It's this massive Terran Space Force base, basically, is the whole thing. And she was like on the outside of the ring and was jumping down from one level of the ring to another level of the ring which was moving at a different speed. And I wanted to like look up. I mean, you know, the whole ring's moving at a different speed, but because of angular momentum, the inside of the ring is moving slower than the outside of the ring, just like your wheel on a bike or something. And I wanted to work out like how far would she fall straight down, or would she fall down and deflect at a certain angle? Like if you ever watch The Expanse, when they're on some things, they're like pouring water into like a cup or pouring coffee into a cup, and the water or the coffee is like moving sideways because of the angle of deflection because they're on a rotating thing. So we did a whole bunch of math, involved physicists, wrote software, and determined that it was minuscule how far she would move. And that basically the rule of thumb is that if it acts like gravity, it acts like gravity. And like it was a lot of work to basically work out that basically the angle of deflection is so minor that like it was like millimeters after falling like 200 feet kind of thing. Like you could jump off a skyscraper and you might deflect like a couple of centimeters kind of thing. The wind would move you more than angular momentum would, which means that The Expanse is wrong. When you would pour your coffee into a cup, the water would go straight down, or the coffee would go straight down. It wouldn't deflect off to the side, which is another thing. When you do the science, you end up eroding so much other science fiction out there. Hey, Cold Sea. Yeah, you're right, Bruce. It was in Babylon 5 as well. Yeah, it is true, Tim. It's crazy like that. And actually, once we like worked all the math, it made perfect sense. But that was with Lisa. Actually, the physicist was Lisa's husband, who's actually checked a bunch of the physics in Aeon 14. I got to meet him one time. I met Lisa and her husband. Yeah.
Oh,
we went for dinner one time, and we were talking. And Lisa told me afterwards that he told her that he has like fourth year physics students who don't grasp a lot of the concepts the way that I do. So it's just like,
oh my,
right, make this head a little bigger.
You're just so smart.
The tricky thing that when you work with like people who like work in like practical applied versions of science is that they're thinking about like the current constraints and rules for how things work. And I'm like, yeah, but what if this thing changed? And they're like, well, it didn't. I'm like, yeah, but what if it did? You know, you have to like break them out of this idea, or they'd be like, well, no one would ever do that. They sort of think it's crazy. I'm like, yeah, but what if they were crazy? You know, right. What if they were trying to build a weapon?
But if you did uplift the squirrel, what would happen then?
Exactly, right? They're like, no one would try to uplift a squirrel. It's insane. It's like,
but what if they did?
Right? Because there's somebody out there that will do it, you know?
And like, if they're a cat, they're going to do crazy things that no human would do.
That's right. Yeah, because they're going to think like a cat, not like a human.
Right. That's right.
James did a really good job writing that when he wrote when Crash was upgraded or uplifted, how Crash started to realize that he wasn't thinking bird thoughts anymore. He was thinking human thoughts, and he got upset that the humans had put their thoughts into its head, and and he knew he couldn't think like a bird anymore. It was actually
go into a murderous rage.
No, but the crows sure did.
The crows
got very
angry.
That
makes sense.
Yeah, the crows got very angry.
Can you give crows just shiny things and they get sort of distracted?
The cats are plotting against us even now. Yeah, you probably could give the crows shiny things. You know, didn't they do a study?
A whole novella that is basically the cats plotting against the humans.
That's true, you did.
And they win. Spoiler alert.
The cats win. But it didn't. Wasn't there a study that was done that was basically determined that if cats were larger, they would kill us?
I mean, I don't know how like well funded the study is. Like, what did they do?
I mean, like we know that there are bigger cats and they do kill humans, so it's kind of like not that crazy to assume that bigger cats might. But then you see people like they have like tigers and hug them and roll around with them and stuff like that. So you're like, I don't know.
And how we didn't really domesticate cats; they just sort of showed up and started living in our houses, and
it's true.
They just didn't leave, and we didn't ask them to.
Yeah, that's how cats came about. We did not domesticate cats. They just sort of said like, we live here now too, and we're like, oh, you're so cute. Okay.
Right, and they release like there's a pheromone or parasite in cats that make humans love them even more.
That's right. It's a parasite, isn't it?
Exposed to them. And
is it a parasite or a pheromone? I can't remember now.
I think technically it's a parasite, but it's like works like a pheromone.
It's so epic. Cats would open a can themselves. So true. That's right. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, cats basically release like a pheromone / parasite that make us like them. Just like apparently, like when we see cats or human babies, and we're like, "Oh, they're so cute." Apparently, elephants think that when they see humans. Elephants have the same reaction.
Elephants are like enamored with us because they think we're so cute.
Yeah, they think they feel the same way that we do about cute cats. It's insane.
It really has to do with how our eyes are spaced similar to a baby cat. It's very similar to a human baby, and that's why we were supposedly get that reaction to kittens and to puppies.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Side note, I finally got cat eye contacts coming. I'm very excited about that.
What does that mean?
They're shaped like cat eyes, but they're contacts.
What? Why?
For like cosplay and stuff, honey.
Oh, I don't like that idea.
I knew you didn't like that.
I'll let you know when they don't get here.
I spent a lot of money on them, honey. Please don't like throw out my contacts.
Well, how much? Oh, that's private conversation. I don't want to see you wearing cat eyes around the house.
No, it would be, you wouldn't see it. It would be elsewhere.
Yeah, it better be.
Watch. As soon as I get them, I'm going to walk out of the bathroom with these cat eyes and freak everybody out.
Yeah. You'll have to figure out where you're going to work for the rest of the day.
I also got these ones that like give you like giant black pupils. It's really, really freaky.
You got them?
Yeah.
Why?
They're like prescription too, so you can actually see out of them.
I don't want them in the house. God. Why do you do these things without asking permission first?
It's like I'm an adult and I don't have to ask permission.
I'm pretty sure you do.
Well, this is segued.
What if it scares me?
What?
What if it's scary?
Well, then I won't do it around you. You look so suspicious.
I don't like this at all.
But what happens, Bruce, when there's two wives?
One wife wins.
Which, I mean, one wife always wins, right? But like, how does happy life, happy wife work? Happy wife, happy life work when there's two wives?
Oh no, Chad, that cannot happen. I'm freaking out now. I'm going to close the laptop.
Scream and stab now.
I don't have anything in bedside that could make me stab Mal.
Yeah, all she has is like a blankie and a stuffed cat. So
because I'm so adorable, and now Mal's gonna go around with creepy contacts to freak me out. I don't like this. I'm gonna have to get something in return.
Okay, we can do that. All right, we should wrap it up though. We have
because we've now totally off the rails. My laptop is gonna die any minute.
Is it? Well, it's almost 8 o'clock. We rambled for an entire hour. I didn't think we would go over half an hour, but it's just kind of fun chatting with all you folks.
Just keeps going.
Yeah. Well, it's been so long since we all got to talk this much.
Yeah, it's been like a whole week.
Well, not everybody. Different people are here.
It's true, different people.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, but we're signing off. If you haven't gone to the Kickstarter yet, go for it. What?
Oh, nothing. I was just thinking about your cat eyes again.
I'm like, why are you doing this all of a sudden?
I'm scared.
If you haven't backed the Kickstarter, that would be awesome if you did, even if you just like backed it $1 or something like that, because it makes the numbers look better. And if you want like cool prints, if you want these prints and you've already backed, you can go to Kickstarter and click Manage Your Pledge. And then on the next page, you can actually scroll down. There's lots of add-ons you can get, and you can get these as an add-on. And if there's other art you would like to have in a canvas, let me know, and I will make it and make it available as part of the Kickstarter. So
we will do that.
All right. All right, everybody. Ciao. Great afternoon. I think it's the evening for almost everybody here, but
but not for Sunshine, so be nice.
Yeah. And thanks, Greg. Thanks for stopping by. Enjoy Rika. I'm glad. It's so awesome to, you're rolling through it right now. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Ciao.